Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great tonight. I will have to preface the stream really quick. I've been noticing that this entire day my internet has been shaky. Maybe it's all the kids going back to school. So I'm actually recording the stream right now in the hope that if anything is to happen, all of that will look better on YouTube, as there won't be any judders, there won't be any lost connection as what happened on Sunday, I believe. So yeah, let's get right into it. The most important question of the day, of course, is what is Merlin drinking? So, just the regular stuff again tonight. I believe this is my last Author Mead Co. Draft Mead. Check it out, guys. This is another mead that's local to Washington. I got the berry rosé version. It's technically like you can't technically taste the rosé. It still tastes like mead all in all. So yeah, the last one. Hopefully I'll like it. Let's see who's on tonight anyway. Who is on tonight as I partake in this? I see a Belazzi. See a Tosco. Ilozano. Thanks again for that 10 bits. HolySwitch Co. GG Enhan. Crossover. Stumptown Retro, Machu Poppy, Duncan Yo-Yo, Camping Campfire, Gravy, Thicky Jimmy, and Idemon. Thanks, guys. Thanks everyone for joining in. Let's see. There we go. One of these jars of mine. One of these mason jars tends to take one whole can. Very delicious. Some of you are seeing. HolySwitch Co. is here tonight. Guess you can say HolySwitch Co. is one of my sponsors making this channel happening tonight. And as you guys can see from the stream title, we are putting VIA under Southpaw75. So what is the Southpaw75? Let's briefly talk about that. Let's turn on some tunes, talk about what that is, and let's see. Let's go to this scene right here. Boom. So the Southpaw75 is a new product from a relatively new vendor, HolySwitch Co., which I'll be posting in chat right now. Be sure to check it out. It is a 60% with numpad on the left side, as you guys can see from this beautiful picture. Look at all that. If you are ever in need of a numpad for your 60%, this might be the board to check out. So you can see it's mainly 3 parts. You've got the bottom plate, you've got the PCB, and the top switch plate. And best of all, it's 50 bucks. The group buy hasn't started yet, but it will be beginning in a few days, August 14th. However, if you guys just clicked on that link, you scroll all the way to the bottom here, you'll see that they have a giveaway. One prototype will be given away in the HolySwitch Discord server, so definitely check that out, join their Discord, join that giveaway, and best of luck to you. Fortunately, it's just one prototype, so may the best man win. So this PCB will be pre-flashed with QMK and VIA. Well, not quite yet because we haven't done the VIA portion, but hopefully by tonight it will. It's got pre-soldered components assembled with standoffs and screws, USB-C, all board materials are FR4, low profile design, supports plate and PCB mount stabs. I would say to stick with PCB mount, don't do the plates. And last but not the least, Atmega32U4 controller. And I'm noticing that for some reason the chat box isn't showing up on stream for some odd reason. What's going on, Mr. Chatbox? Why you no show up? Here, let me try something here. Strange things are afloat. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing up. Let me just check my URL. Not gonna show you guys my screen while I do that. Let's try that out. That's really odd. Let me just check. Copy. Yep, that looks to be the same URL. Okay, strange. I'm obviously seeing you guys type, so I don't know what's going on here. Yeah. Here, let me just go on the Streamlabs page just to be absolutely sure I'm not doing anything wrong. Strangeness. Belize, thank you for using 50 bits. Thank you so much. I see you right there. Let's see. Yeah, according to Streamlabs, everything seems to be doing fine, so I don't know what's going on. Not Coco subscribed with Twitch Prime as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, alright, maybe there's something going on with the Streamlabs server. Who knows? Who knows? We will leave it at that. Too much to play around with right now. But here we go. Here we go. Once again, make sure you click on that link. I'm gonna link it back in chat. And definitely join their Discord server and join their giveaway. Giveaway will be given out this Saturday, I believe, and the group buy starts on the 14th. So best of luck, everyone. So let's take a look at this board, shall we? Let's actually take a look at this. As I said earlier, HolySwitch actually sent me a prototype. So here we go. Let's check this out. Let's see how this really looks. Okay, so once again, special thanks to HolySwitch for doing this. Yeah, here we go. Let's take it apart. This looks to be all the components. Let's take a look at the PCB first, since that's what we'll be working on tonight. I will be doing a build stream this Saturday of this same board. Watch Merlin open up package. Here we go. There it is. Take a look at this beautiful PCB right here. Check it out. Looks exactly like what you saw in the photo. Is that right? Yeah, does that look like it? Looks like it to me. Yeah, alright, see, there's the Atmega32U4 microcontroller. USB-C ports right there, reset buttons right there too. Super accessible, and it's quite... Yeah, that's it's probably the most quote-unquote high-profile reset button I've ever seen. Check that out. You guys can see it's protruding really far out, makes it really easy to press. Really cool. I, of course, am holding it the other way around. It's supposed to go this way. There we go. Numpads on this side, 60% is here. And as you guys can see, it only supports one layout right now, and that layout is ANSI. Okay, rest assured, all of you ISO people will have hope. It'll be through the local group buyers and all that. But for most people, it will just be ANSI. No Chance RPG says, no, really easy to press accidentally. I guess if you're holding your board... Let's see, that's the reset button, right? If you like to hold your board like that while you're typing, then sure. But if not, then probably not. But yeah, check it out, guys. This is a single layout board, so it'll make our job tonight super easy as well, because I just have to worry about one layout. So look at all the tracing over here. Looks pretty good. Not bad. See, I wonder, does this board have an ESD chip? That I cannot tell, to be honest. But I do see some chips that I don't normally see on any PCB. There's this one chip here labeled BM. Never seen that on anything, so that could be an ESD protection chip. Let's see, HolySwitch is on. HolySwitch, do you know if this board supports ESD protection? This drink is really, really tasty. I might finish it before I even start porting. Yeah, so that's the PCB. Let's go put that away. Let's put the PCB away. Let's look at the actual kit here. Camping Campfire designed the PCB, so it's best to ask him. Camping Campfire, I saw you online earlier. Are you? Did you build this with the ESD protection? There we go. Looks like these are all the hardware involved. I see screws and standoffs. Pretty cool. And HolySwitch stickers. Very nice. What am I drinking? You can always find out what I'm drinking by doing !drink. Yeah, but tonight it is here. Just make sure I don't spill anywhere. But that is what I'm drinking tonight. Local mead. Yeah, Evan, thanks for joining in. Right, I'm gonna have to use scissors for this. Let's tear it apart. Quick unboxing here, guys. Take a look at these FR4 plates. Here we go. This is the bottom part. As you can see, it says Southpaw75. Southpaw75. There is a cereal of sorts, as I can see. But that is very pretty. It's really pretty. Good job, HolySwitch. That engraving looks beautiful. See, Belazy says clean. I agree. Here we go. Here's the plate. Here's the plate right there. It's got the Southpaw75 engraving on it as well. HolySwitch says cereal won't be on production units, not on front. Cool, cool, cool. From what I'm seeing, this is very well done. I like it. Yeah. And just to reiterate what was on the website, this plate supports both PCB mount and plate mount stabs. Sark says FR4, yes, these are FR4. Oh, but yeah, it's supposed to go this way, like that, with standoffs in between. And just to give you guys a size comparison, what's in front of me is a drop alt. So it's a 65%. It's slightly larger than a 65%. Like so. Not bad. Alright, let's get to programming this. So the good thing is I won't need the PCB quite yet. Right. Plate material is the same as the PCB material. Yes, yes, Potter Apple. Exact same material. FR4 has become quite a popular plate material in the community lately. HolySwitch says yes, but varying thicknesses. Yeah, for sure. Alright, let's see. How should I start this? Alright. You guys are putting VIA on the board. VIA comes in two parts. The QMK Firmware portion and the VIA portion. That's two parts, two repositories maintained by two different sets of people. So the first part of the stream will be dealing with the QMK Firmware portion. For those of you watching this on YouTube, VIA can only be supported on a board that, number one, is in QMK Firmware already, and number two, its microcontroller needs to have an EEPROM, because that's where VIA stores all of its keycaps. I mean, key maps. So let's start with the QMK portion. If you guys go on QMK right now, you won't actually see any of this. Here, let's do this. Whoa, 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 what happened there? There we go. There we go. Here we go. If you guys are wondering what this empty black box down below is, once again, that's the stupid chat not really working on me right now. I suspect it's something to do with the Streamlabs server. Not so sure what's going on. So hopefully it'll pick back up later. See, will the cases have a tilt? No, it will not. You will just have rubber feet, so you can just slightly elevate it, but the angle will be 0 degrees. Alright guys, what I'm looking at right here is the QMK firmware bit of it. I did not write this code. This was, let's see, what's his name on chat? Camping Campfire. Yep, Camping Campfire. This is Camping Campfire's code, also known as Drew Guy. So I have put his name and my name as well. Why did I put my name? Because I did do one thing to his original code. I augmented his key map. That's it. But a majority of this looks to have also been generated using No Roads Left's tool. No Roads Left is another QMK collaborator along with Zark and myself here. You can see that based on, here we go. No Roads Left, KBF to QMK converter. So basically with his tool, see, there it is again. With his tool, and if you know what the switch matrix of your board is, you can generate all this code relatively easily. So once again, thank you Camping Campfire for doing all this code. Ooh, Camping Campfire says it has a polyfuse and ESD protection on the board, but for protos I did not solder the UET. Ah, okay. You will have to point me in that direction as to where I can do that, because that is really awesome for a board that's $50. Having all of this in it is a steal. If you guys don't buy this, you guys probably missing out on one of the cheapest boards with ESD protection. Thank you for confirming that, Camping Campfire. All right. Yeah, so all of this is Camping Campfire's code. Nothing much here. All I did was add a second layer to his code, which did not do correctly. There we go. And I also augmented the README to point to the right locations. This is not in QMK yet, but hopefully by tonight the PR will be out. I will be linking the link to the PR on the VIA side and the QMK firmware side down in the description section down below. Alright, okay, so the first part of doing VIA is to essentially create another key map. If you guys look at your directory structure here, you'll see that there's a default key map, which I just pointed out. The way to add VIA to any board is to have a VIA key map. So the way I like to do this is copy and pasting the existing default key map, because I'm lazy, renaming it VIA. And I'm almost done here, really. Almost done here. If you guys ever looked at VIA, VIA has 4 layers. And you always need to define the 4 layers, even if there's nothing on it, right? So right now, we've only got 2 layers right here. If you left this as is, VIA would show that you have layer 0 and layer 1 properly defined. Then your 3 and 4, or your 2 and 3 in this case, will be filled with garbage. And you don't want that. So what you want to do is to actually take relatively empty layer like layer 1 here and change it as follows. See? You don't necessarily want to have a layer 2 or layer 3 in this case, so why not make them all KC trans? KC trans stands for key code transparent. It means that it will default to whatever is on the layer down below. So you guys can see this one will just go all the way down to the layer 1. There. Let's just change this up a bit. KC trans. What else? Everything else. Ah, yes. Here we go. So when you're doing this, please make sure that at least one layer has a reset key. In our case, layer 1 is where I've stored the reset key. I've put it on the R key actually. So we now have a third layer. Let's make a fourth layer, which we can just basically copy and paste like so. There we go. You now have 3 layers. The first 2 layers are defined. The next 2 layers are also defined, but they're blank, and let's keep it that way. So just to make sure I didn't screw up with the key map making, let's just attempt to make it right now. Make HolySwitch / Southpaw75 : via. Ah, there is an error. What's going on? Line 49. Big Chimpo says you got an extra comma there. Ooh, thank you. I'm assuming it's gonna be... I don't quite see it. There we go. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. Via key map is building. So you're not quite done here. You're not quite done here. The magic of what makes via actually turn on is you need to create a file called rules.mk. This is different from the rules.mk you see out here. This is a rules.mk that applies across the entire board. What you want is a rules.mk that applies only to this particular key map. In this case, if you leave it blank like this, it will assume that everything in the keyboard's rules.mk will also apply. So basically, think of this as an additive file. You just put stuff in here that you want to add or subtract from the keyboard's rules.mk. And it's pretty simple here. To turn on via, you do via_enable equals yes. Boom. Via is now on. Just because you want to keep files as small as possible, you want to do LTO_enable equals yes. This stands for link time optimization. Like so. We don't necessarily need a README for this, I guess, so we can remove that. And we are about 80% done with turning on via at the QMK portion. Just like that. Joe Batista says, I like your hat. Nesrol subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Last piece of the puzzle. Via detects your keyboard basically by looking at 2 things. Like, if you plug a bunch of boards in, Via needs to be able to detect your board. And it detects that by reading these things. If you go to your config.h file, you'll see 2 pound defines here called vendor ID and product ID. These are the 2 items that Via looks at to determine what you have. So we have to come up with a suitable vendor ID and a suitable product ID. And this is kind of tricky because you need to make sure that you pick a vendor ID that doesn't conflict with anything in QMK. And even more important, you need to pick a vendor ID that doesn't conflict with anyone else outside. So the way to do this is you have to look at the USB IF configuration, I believe. I always forget what they're called, but basically just do a Google search for vid and PID lookup. That stands for VID and product ID lookup. And you'll get a page like so, which I'll link in chat. Potter Apple says, can't we do this in the main ****? I don't know what that means. Actually, here, why don't I put that in here as well? Let's do this. There we go. I am looking at this thing called vendor ID and product ID list, like so. So the way you have to figure this out is just type in a vendor ID that you think would look good. I try to make it ASCII. So I find like an ASCII to hex converter and do it that way. Unfortunately, HolySwitch, I tried to make it... I actually tried to give you HS, but HS is already taken by Hazu. And HL was taken by someone else as well, so I couldn't do like either of those. So the best that I could find was HO for Ho. So hopefully that's okay with you. Hopefully that's okay with you. And that is ASCII. Yep, that's hex 484F. So let's just make sure that that is not taken by anyone else. 484F. Search. Nothing found. Awesome. Perfect. Perfect. That is what I like to see. 484F. For Ho. Ho. Short for HolySwitch. Like so. And now we have to come up with the product ID. So, you know, this can really be anything. Let's do Southpaw. So SP. SP is actually 5350. Rheumatic says HolySwitch Ho confirmed. If you want me to change it, I can change it. SP. Short for Southpaw. There we go. Okay. So yeah, once we have this done, we can actually create the firmware once again. So hopefully, once you've done this, you can create firmware. Just like that. Ah, I'm so peeved that my chat box isn't working. It's so odd. Okay, there we go. Copying HolySwitch Southpaw75 to QMK Firmware folder. We are good. We are good with the QMK Firmware portion of it. And that took less than 30 minutes. There we go. That took less than 30 minutes. We are now going to actually flash this on our board. No Chance RPG says, what IDE is this? This is Visual Studio Code. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. There it is. Let's figure out how to flash this. Alright. I need a spare USB-C cable. Let me grab one. USB-C cable. HolySwitch says, Merlin, literally a genius. Hey, it took a while to learn how to do this. Okay, there we go. Cable's plugged in on the host end. Let's plug this guy in. Hopefully you guys sent me a working PCB, right? Let's take that out. Alright, so before you flash QMK firmware, you always need to reset the board. Thankfully there is a conveniently placed reset button. Let's press it. Boom. Hopefully it's reset. Can't really tell until we attempt flashing. So here we go. Let's flash it. Flash, 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 flash. Merseyside Red says, dumb question. Why use VIA to configure and build firmware instead of QMK configurator? So here's the thing. If you use regular old QMK, every single time you want to change your key map, even if it's to change one key, you end up having to flash the board every single time. A microcontroller on your PCB tends to only have a limited number of flashes. By limited, I mean you can flash this 10 times a day for the next 30 years and you'll be fine. That's how limited. But with VIA, you can just plug this in, open up VIA, and change the key maps as you please. No more flashing, no more resetting. Makes it super duper convenient, especially when you're just making macros. which I will show a demo of later. But here we go. Looks like it flashed. We now have a board. We now have a Southpaw75 that has VIA. Alright folks, this is the first Southpaw75 with VIA, so that means if I sell this on Mech Market, I can sell it for $600. Yeah! Merlin be flippin' PCBs. Special edition Southpaw75. Currently, it's the only one. It's the only one with VIA. Alright, guys. As I said, putting VIA on a board has two parts. We only just did the QMK Firmware portion. The next part is actually doing the VIA portion. So here we go. Let me set this up real quick for all you guys. Here we go. Gavin Go says, charge people for helping them to port it to VIA. I don't actually charge for that. VIA, QMK, all that stuff I do for free. All I ask is that you pay for shipping both ways. Alright, here goes. So the next part of the stream, I will be doing all the information that I'll be talking about can be derived from the Can I Use VIA website. Yes, that is the official VIA website. You can find documentation, you can download all the firmware, you can see what supported keyboards there are. All that can be found on caniusevia.com. You can also download the latest version of VIA from there, so definitely use this up. I will be going through this. Okay. So the way that VIA detects your board is you need to feed it a JSON file. A JSON file is, it's just a file extension. It's like a doc file, a PDF file, whatever kind of text file that you want, right? And for VIA to actually understand what this file is, it needs to have required properties, hence why it's called required properties. You need a name property, in this case the RamaWorks M6A. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. You need a vendor and product ID. Then after that, you need lighting, then which has several options that you can put in. This board doesn't have any lighting at all, so we can actually leave it at lighting none. Then we want to put the matrix in. This is actually a 9x9 keyboard, so that's fairly simple. And then the layouts. We're going to do the layouts next before we actually piece together this entire JSON file. So here we go. So the way I like to do the layout portion is to start with Keyboard Layout Editor. Keyboard Layout Editor is a tool that's been popular in the community for making plates, pretty much, making key sets, making whatever you want, pretty much, that's like keyboard layout related. The problem with Keyboard Layout Editor is that it's under, even though it's open source, it's not licensed correctly, so no one can actually quote unquote legally fork it, throw in all the modifications into it, and release it as their own. That's taboo. And why is that a problem? Because the last time this has been updated was like 2018, which is, yeah, quite some time ago in terms of keyboard history. Yeah, in fact, I believe you can see proof of that by looking at GMK's colors right here. I believe GMK has increased their number of colors, and this one only has like 80% of it right now. If you look at the presets, look at that. It's not very... Keycool 84, that is a board that came out in 2015. Holy crap. You know, all that stuff. But that is beyond the point. That is besides the point. We're not going to talk about that. See, Nefert says, has someone reached out to the original author of the website if he would be willing to change the license? Yes, many people have, and it has not come to anything. No one's responded. But yeah, let's talk about this. So if you want to make this via JSON layout, first and foremost, make a KLE that looks like the board that you're trying to do. Since the Southpaw75 only has one layout, we're fine with just doing this. As you can see, I've got the 60% portion, then I've got the numpad portion on the left side here. This is exactly the layout of the board. I've also changed the color of the modifiers, of the alpha keys, and of the accent keys, the enter, and the escape, which is actually a VIA requirement. Wilba prefers it that you do this. Make sure you absolutely color these in correctly. In this case, the modifiers are 6 A's, the accent keys are 6 7's, the alpha keys are 6 C's. And it will be in the default Olivia colorway. You cannot change it, unfortunately. See, a better player says, "Hey Merlin, looking at getting a Tofu 65 that just came back in stock. What PCB would I buy with this case?" I'm seeing a lot of varying answers on this. I believe the Tofu 65 will support every KBD 67 except any of the Mark II variants. So that would be the the hot swap, the Rev 1, the Rev 2, and everything in between, I guess. But yeah, as you guys can see, there are numbers here. There are numbers all around here. What are all these numbers, and why is the middle blank? The middle is blank because I haven't finished it, but all of these numbers, 05, 06, the first number refers to the row number, and the second number refers to the column number. So what are we doing with this, right? What are we doing with this? You need to, or rather we need to, look back into QMK Firmware. In particular, go to the file called your keyboards.h file. In this case, since the keyboard name is Southpaw75, you want to go to the Southpaw75.h. In the Southpaw75.h, you will have this thing here, this thing called layout. In QMK, we call this the layout macro, and it consists of two parts. The top part is called the physical matrix, and the bottom part is called the electrical matrix. For the purposes of VIA, you just want to pay attention to this top part right here, the physical matrix. And as I said earlier, all of these are two numbers, right? First number is row, second number is column. Well, what does that actually mean? What row, what column? If you want to know what that means, just go to your config.h file. Look at that. These are all the pins used on the board, and I've labeled them appropriately from 0 to 8, all 9 of them 0 to 8. So if you were to pick this guy right here, K64, key 64, what does that mean? That means he is the key connected to row 6, column 4. So that's row 6, D2, column 4 is F4. He is the switch that is connected to pins D2 and F4 of the microcontroller. So yeah, that's just what it means. It's an easier way of marking switches and all that. But yeah, as I said, we just have to pay attention to the physical layout. We need to take all this stuff, and map it to here. Just like that. So I'm actually I'm not going to show you guys the code. You guys just have to trust that I'm appropriately copying it. And I don't really have that much more to do, so we'll just do it slowly. It's 2 0, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3. Okay, I won't count out loud anymore. I can count in my head, guys. I think. Oh, see, I already screwed up. That's supposed to be 2 5. Maybe I should just count out loud. 3031. That goes all the way till 38. Perfect. Pretty simple here, guys. 35, 36, 37, 38. Oop. Once again, just to reiterate that, I'm literally copying this row over, right? See, next one up is 42, 43. What's next? Goes all the way till 48. And it goes to 5 till 56. Five and 5.6. If you guys have noticed, I haven't actually done any coding. It's just been copying code that already exists. See, Gavin says, we like your counting. Well, thank you. I'm a professional counter. Alright, so yeah, I'm done. I'm done with the layout right here. Make sure you save it so you don't lose it. It's good stuff right here. And as I was saying, we need to... Let's go back to can I use VIA. What we've essentially done here is just this part right there. This part. And we still need to properly format it, which I'll show you guys later. But here, let's change to a new repo. This is not the QMK Firmware repository. This is the VIA repository. So let me just do some background tasks here so I don't forget things. Some notes in. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. Out of curiosity, HolySwitch and Camping Campfire, do you guys actually have a built unit right now? Because once I'm done with this, I can have you guys test it too. So it's not just me testing. Alright, I think I'm good. I'm good here. Big Chimpo says, how quickly do your PRs get merged? It really depends on the availability of the QMK collaborators and of the VIA collaborators. So here we go. Let's see. 707 Jammin says, if you want to get a board ported to VIA, what does the process look like? You are literally watching the process right now. We are about 45 minutes into the stream, and I'm almost done with the VIA part. So here we go. I am now in the VIA keyboards repository. Once again, this is a completely different group of people. QMK Firmware is managed by people like me, Zark, No Roads Left, Jack Humbert, Scully Days, and a bunch of other people. I believe there are 15 of us all in all. VIA is a completely different group of people, namely Wilba, Olivia, and a few others. So completely different, keep that in mind. Different folder structure as well. What you want to pay attention to is the source directory right here. And since I fully expect HolySwitch to come out with more amazing products, I'm going to give them their own directory. Not that I have special powers to do that, I just literally do the new directory button, like so. Oh wait, I don't want that in one of keyboards, I want that in source. HolySwitch. There we go. There is now a HolySwitch directory. And we want to call this the Southpaw75.json. Once again, JSON is just a file extension like .txt or .doc. And because I'm lazy, I like to go back to something I've done before, such as the E7v1 that you see here. Copy and paste it like so, just because I don't remember how everything is formatted and it's a painstaking process to do all of this. So I'd rather just copy and paste from something that I know and edit it accordingly. So this one's the Southpaw75. And there are 8x8. No, it's 9x9 actually. 9x9, like so. And I believe lighting is none, because there is no lighting on this board. What did we put for, let's see, 484F and 5350. 484F and 5350. Make sure that this matches the QMK firmware. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. You'll see that there's this labels property here. This is only important if your PCB has multiple layouts, like split backspace, split left shift, ANSI ISO. Yeah, but since this particular PCB only has one layout, we're just gonna get rid of this. Apparently there will be an ISO PCB for EU-based vendors. That will come out soon, I guess. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to delete the whole thing. There we go. See, Mercy says, so you are having to go through this process because Southpaw75 isn't already a supported board for QMK and VIA. That is correct. TL Technique says, software developers are just copy and paste masters. Yes, that is exactly it. I am a software engineer for my day job, and most of my job, like, is me looking up on Google, how do you do this, how do you do that, and getting ideas. Let's see. Okay, we don't need any of this part because this is for the E7 V1. You can delete that. And yeah, so you're left with this. You're left with this. What we want to do next is to go back to this guy, and we want to hit up the raw data tab. And typically a lot of community programs have you copy the raw data over. We don't want that. In this case, we want to do download JSON file. So click on that right now, and you'll have a JSON file downloaded. And hopefully, there we go. We now have a JSON file like so. As you guys can see, we have all this extra fluff out here. You don't actually need that, so let's go delete that. But everything else you can keep, copy, and in the key map property, paste it like so. And I'd say you're pretty much done at this point with the VIA JSON, but you do want to actually check your work. You want to check your work. Good thing VIA actually lets you do this. Now let me set up that next screen for you guys. There we go. Alright, so what you're seeing here is VIA. This is the VIA app. Normally if you plug in a VIA enabled board, this will fill up. This will fill up pink and your keyboard will show up. In our case, we have nothing that's VIA enabled. Yeah, like this. This is the drop alt. This is not VIA enabled. Even though it's QMK powered, it doesn't have an EEPROM chip, so we can't ever put this on VIA, unfortunately. So yeah, you'll notice that I have 4 tabs. I have a design tab. You will normally not see the design tab unless you go to settings and type or toggle the show design tab, like so. See that? See that? You want to keep it on. Click on the design tab, click on load. So HolySwitch and Camping Campfire, please pay attention to this because you'll be needing to do this to test this. Click on load and you want to navigate to that JSON file that you just created. And once you found it, if you did this correctly, you should get a keyboard representation similar to what you had in KLE. 47 raiders from Langlandia have joined. Holy crap, man. Thanks, man. Thank you, Lang. And Lang, congratulations on GMK Cafe finally shipping. I mean to take a look at an actual one soon because as you know, some of those colors are shared with GMK Gold Rush. Mr. Petrov says, hi QMK. Oh boy. And I see that you subscribed at tier 1 again. Thank you so much. You are coming in at the tail end of us finishing up a VIA support stream. So here we go. Let's load up our JSON file. Boom. Woo. That looks correct. There we go. It's done. It's done. Very cool. Very cool. Brucey says, I was told to join this stream to take away your Jane and KC. Oh man. Oh man. Dirty thieves on this stream. 10 peaches, what are you doing? Thank you, man. Thank you so much for your 15 bits. What is your thought on Matrix Lab asked to have Noah removed from VIA? Noah's not even in VIA. Noah's not even in VIA. Yeah, okay, but yeah, once we get to this part, this only verifies that your JSON is formatted correctly. Whether or not it will work, you need to go back to your configure tab and plug in your keyboard. So let's go plug it in. Let's go plug in this keyboard. Let's plug in this Southpaw75. And if I did this correctly, VIA will just auto detect. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed and all that, right? Fingers crossed. How many of you guys think I did this correct versus how many of you guys think I did not do this correct? HolySwitch says, so what do you mean by us testing with that process? So until this JSON file is actually merged into VIA, there's no way that this is going to work unless you have the VIA file and the appropriate VIA firmware flashed onto your board. So typically VIA will query their server or so for these JSON files. That's why whenever you plug in your board, you never have to do the process I just did. But for testing and for those who want early access and have their boards worth $600 as well, this is what you do. Oh wait, if you do this, my board won't be 600 anymore. It'll just start decreasing in value. All right, but before I plug this in, I do need to do a few plugs, if you know what I mean. By plugs, I would like to talk about some of my beautiful sponsors who make this stream happen. Let's start with that. My first sponsor is Zeal PC. Zeal PC is a keyboard vendor located in Richmond, Canada, notably known for very tactile and expensive switches called Zelios and their equivalent linear versions Telios, Helios, and Turquoise and Roselios. It's all over, all over. Personally, as much as I would love it if you guys used my affiliate link that I just posted in chat, his switches are really expensive, so the best time to buy is usually when he does a group buy, because prices drop by like 30-40 cents in some instances. If you guys want to know what he's been up to, make sure you follow his Instagram, because he has been talking about his 3-in-1 switch: linear, tactile, and clicky. If you're interested, be sure to check it out. Next sponsor that makes this channel happen is DixieMech. There we go. DixieMech affiliate link posted in chat. DixieMech is currently running 2 group buys, Pono and Minimal. Let's see. One of these, like both of them are expiring. No, actually just Pono is expiring fairly soon. Pono expires on August 14th, the same day that this guy goes on group buy. So keep that in mind. Minimal expires on August 30th. So if these are 2 sets that you like, definitely check them out. And I always have to say, since these are both GMK, expect delivery of sometime next July or something. Next up, Novelkeys. Novelkeys has 2 group buys right now. Novelkeys is located in West Virginia, United States. Let me post that link. There we go. There's GMK Bento, which I am personally buying just because my wife really likes this set. I like this set too, but I figure since my wife likes it, it gives me double the reason to buy it. Check it out, guys. I will be doing the white alphas and the novelties as well. And his other set is SA Skyrider. Check it out. If you're a fan of the SA profile, definitely check this out. As you guys can see from that link that I posted, we have a discount code WIZARD. If you use discount code WIZARD, you can get 5% off all in-stock items. This does not apply to group buys like the ones I showed you, or to pre-order items, unfortunately. But 5% off will work for anything else. Next up is Keebio. Keebio is a fellow QMK collaborator such as Zark, No Roads Left, and myself. He's better known as Danny or Baking Pie. He has quite a few boards here, such as the Iris, the Nyquist, the BDN9, which is a 3x3 macro pad that has rotary encoders. That's something that you guys like, definitely check it out. And he also sells a bunch of Elite Cs. If you use discount code wizardhat, you can get up to 15% off select items. Next up, Cannon Keys. Cannon Keys is also located in the United States. I believe he's located on Rhode Island. Actually, most of my sponsors are located here in the United States. Let's see. Group buy. He is currently doing a group buy for his very own key set with his very own manufacturer, the Canon Cap Zero. This is a PBT cherry profile set that supposedly aims to get rid of all the warpage issues. Hopefully that's true, and make all the legends sharper and all that good stuff. You can get the base kit for $99.99, which I think is a great deal. Something I will probably be purchasing myself. So definitely hit up Cannon Keys with that link I just provided. Next vendor is Project Keyboard. There we go. Project Keyboard is doing a group buy for both GMK Sumi and which one's the other one? GMK Dolce Row 5. Check it out. Project Keyboards is also the lube that I use. Like he gave me a little canister of 40 milliliter lube. Actually, when did he give it to me? I think it was I think it was the middle of 2019 or something, and I'm still using it. I've built so many keyboards, I've lubed so many switches, and I'm still using it. There's just so much of it. Yeah, definitely check them out, especially if you like GMK Sumi, which expires on the 15th, and Dolch Row 5 expires September 4th. And once again, since these are both GMK sets, expect a July, maybe August 2021 delivery. Next up is a keyboard company that is located here in my hometown, Seattle, Washington. There we go. This is keyboardlube.com. There we go, keyboardlube.com. You can use discount code Merlin for 5% off your entire order. As you guys can see, he is on track to get a bunch of lube by August 31st of this year. You have options between 3mm, 5, 20, 10, and even the 40ml one at 84 bucks. Really expensive, but I think it's worth it. Let's see, if you want more than just lube, he does sell some keyboard accessories such as Milmax sockets. As you guys can see, he's currently doing a sale, $1.30, a drop from $1.48, along with some Everglide / Durock screw-ins, all that good stuff. He has 2U, 6.25U, and 7U all in stock. And on top of that, something I do want to point out, I think he's currently trying to hit MOQ for this. This is an acrylic lube station for 20 bucks. If you guys are looking for an acrylic lube station, definitely hit this up. He has 19 days remaining. He wants to meet his goal of at least 30 by August 31st. So definitely check him out. Belaze, thanks for cheering with your 5 bits. Thank you so much. Here we go. And last but not the least, as I mentioned earlier, this particular stream is sponsored by HolySwitch because of their Southpaw75. If you guys want an additional discount, especially if you're joining the group buy, use discount code Merlin and you'll get 5% off. Yeah, it's 5% off a $50 board. So yeah, mucho savings. Definitely do it. Definitely do it. You will not regret it. Once again, I'm gonna post that link again into chat. HolySwitch.co. 707 Jammin says, damn, I really want a loop station too, but I doubt that MOQ will get hit. Well, he's got 19 days. We'll see how things change. See, Big Chimp says, so to test, HolySwitch would have to duplicate the changes you made to QMK locally in Flash or wait until your PR is merged. What he would have to do is take the firmware file that I have flashed onto this board, flash it onto his existing board, open up VIA, and load up that JSON file that I will provide to him once I test this out here. So yeah, let's go plug this board in and see if I did things right. There we go, VIA. Let's go back to the VIA screen right there. If I did this right and I plug this board in, VIA will detect it auto-magically. So here goes. Boop. Ta-da! There we go. VIA just detected it. And does it look right? Does everything here look right? Tab, left control, left win, space. Let's look at our layer 1. Yep. Reset keys on the R key. F1 through F12. Delete key. All that stuff. Layer 2 and layer 3 should be completely blank. Oh, look at that. There's an H key right there. We are going to have to fix it up right there. Well, I guess I could say it's H for HolySwitch. No, H for HolySwitch. What? Because that worked, I'm just gonna take a drink right now. Very cool, very cool. All right, so just to, earlier I talked about doing a demo, right? Okay. So here we go. You can go to the macro tab right here, which of course I'm not showing. There we go. Go to the macro tab right here on your top left. For macro 0, type in, let's say, HolySwitch is the best. Tap enter at end of macro like so. Save, right? Then you can go back to key maps, click on macro on the bottom left, and let's put that on where the H key was, like so, right? And now I'm gonna go into chat and I'm gonna try and trigger the H key with my tweezer. Let's see, where's the H key? A, S, D, F, G, H. Okay, that's the H key. Let's trigger it. Oh wait, I put it on layer 1, so I actually need to, shoots. Oh guys, I just realized on layer 0, I don't actually have a function key. You know what, I'm gonna be lazy. I'm just gonna put it right there for now. Just for now, so it's easy. Let's try that again. Let's try that again in chat. Woo! That worked! HolySwitch is the best. There we go, see? That was so easy. Just making a macro just like that. Super simple. Super simple. And yeah, sorry for spamming you guys, but sponsored. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, there we go. So now this is the first Southpaw75 with VIA. Any bids? Bids start at $400. There we go. Alright, I just unplugged it. HolySwitch, do you actually have a board build? HolySwitch says, unbelievable how you managed to get everything working in an hour. While streaming, yeah, I think this might be my 27th or so, 27th VIA stream, so it's kind of, I've gotten faster over time, and of course, Camping Campfire made it really easy because he already had all the code done. But HolySwitch, if you have a board build, I can send you all the necessary documents. HolySwitch says, bids start at 6-bedroom house. I wish, man. Dude, if you came up with like a high-profile aluminum case for this, I think it would sell. Because you don't actually have any mounting points on your PCB, this would either have to be a gasket mount or a top mount board. HolySwitch says, I don't. I know Calvin, Canadian vendor, has one built already. Ah, alright, well. Alright guys, I will not actually be the first streamer to build this. Andy V. Nguyen, another fellow streamer who I talk with a lot actually, is building the Southpaw75 this coming Thursday. Make sure you check out his stream. At the end of this stream, I will be posting all of the files that I just made over to Andy so he doesn't need to struggle with QMK on it. Because VIA is just pretty awesome like that. But yeah, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, all the relevant links, including the appropriate pull requests and the appropriate documentation, will be linked in the description section down below. Alright, let's see, wow. Let's see, when did I start? I started at 7:30 p.m. It is now 8:40 p.m. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, and I'm done. Yeah. If you guys watch my other streams, you'll know that it takes longer. One reason why it's faster is because this is a single layout. I did not have to pull out my multimeter to figure out what the ISO key was, or where the spacebar key was. Like literally there was one position for spacebar right there. Look at that. Yeah. But as you guys know, I kinda did... There were a few mess ups. There are a few mess ups. Let's see if I can fix up the firmware file just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, as you guys saw, I had an H key somewhere there. So if you look at my code, keymap.c, you'll see that I completely forgot the H key. So yeah, let's just copy and paste kctrans over to it, like so. There we go. And on top of that, I actually forgot to put a function key on, so there's no way to get to this next layer here. So let's see, where would I put the function key? I'm gonna put it right next to the spacebar, right over here. Is it M01? M01, there we go. We now have a function key. Looks good. And with all that done, I can actually commit all my code. Yeah guys, I'm just fixing up a few tiny items here. Just fit and finish. See, Daniel says you're really fast. HolySwitch as single layout is far superior. To be fair, for an FR4 board like what you have here, not having a Swiss cheese PCB really helps with the firmness, I guess. Reyes V9 says, what song is this? This is called Slow Food by Yellow Bass. I do all of my music from Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is a subscription service that guarantees I don't get any copyright strikeouts and all that, which is great, because I do not want to be demonetized. Here, it's just... Alright, I guess at this point I'm just gonna show what the QMK pull request process is like. So here we go, let's just push all of my changes to upstream. Big Chimpo says, so you don't have to put the FN key in the default key map, just the via key map. Good point. Absolutely good point. Let me throw that in. Thanks for reminding. And because you reminded me, I will put you in the commitment message. Thanks to Big Chimpo for reminding me to put an FN key in the default key map. There we go. You will now live on for eternity in QMK Firmware's GitHub repo. Boom. Boom. Alright, everything's pushed. Everything's pushed. I am going to now file the PR. Let's do this. Set the Big Chimpo celebrity. Here we go. All right, I am now on GitHub. Right there, I'm logged into my Macmerlin credentials. And here we go. Macmerlin feature, the branch feature Southpaw75 had recent pushes less than a minute ago. Super simple, just press compare and pull request. Boom, like so. Let's call it new keyboard. Southpaw75. Description. New keyboard from HolySwitch Co., which is a 60% with a numpad on the left hand side. There we go. Types of change. It is a keyboard. Let's put an X right there. That's pretty much it. Okay, you know, as much as I contribute to QMK, I do need to give credit where credit is due. Original code submitted by Drew Guy, aka Camping Campfire. Original QMK firmware code submitted by Drew Guy, aka Camping Campfire. Perfect. All that good stuff. What else do I need to do? Checklist. I can do the checklist later. But labels. Not everyone can do labels. Only QMK collaborators can. So let's do keyboard. Jack Static says Mabuhay subscribing at tier 1. Thank you so much. Perfect. Good stuff. Alright. Create pull request. And once I do this, I can actually just check off the checklist. My code follows the code style of this project. Yep. I have read the PR checklist document. Yep. Let's see. I have read the contributing. Yep. I have added tests to cover my changes. No. I've tested the changes. Yes. There we go. We should all be good. HolySwitch has Mech Merlin. Drew also has a GitHub repo. I'll DM it to you. Perfect. Good to know. Good to know. All right. I will file my first revision to the PR, I guess. Here goes. First revision to the PR, courtesy of HolySwitch. Let's put it in the README. There we go. Drew Guy. Drew Payan. There we go. I guess typically in QMK we want the name to match the GitHub name. So let's do Drew Payan, like so. Zark said, Macron, in case you didn't see, we hit 10K. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Drew Payan, let's just make sure all that is put in. Make sure we have the right GitHub link. Whoa, what happened there? GitHub URL for Drew. Perfect. And as you guys can see, add in, here we go. There we go. It just updated. Perfect. 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 Wow. 10K. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Wow. Camping Campfire has followed. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Hopefully I got all this right. But yeah, once again, Camping Campfire is the designer of this PCB right here. And believe it or not, he has ESD protection. Good man. Good man. He is also the original coder for the QMK firmware. All I've done here is appended the default key map and added the VIA firmware. But all that is done. Most of the heavy lifting was done by Camping Campfire here. Almost called you Campy Campfire. All right, guys. Hopefully the powers that be, mainly the other QMK collaborators. Oh, look at that. Zark is already reviewing. Remove this as per PR checklist. I don't understand what that means. There we go. Remove description. Ah, okay. Here. Camping Campfire says all the ed cuts and original files were done by Volvo B52340. I do not know what that is. All I did was modify the PCB for Atmega 32U4 and other small features. Remove this description. Okay, looks like we are editing the PR as we go along. But yeah, this is the process, guys. You file a PR, and depends who's available, Zark or myself. Like, as a QMK collaborator, I cannot merge my own files. Well, I can absolutely merge my own files, but it's just not kosher. it's not kosher. So yeah, rather than file a bunch of commits, I'm just gonna wait for other people to join in here. This could happen in the next minute, next 5 minutes, or it could happen a week from now. So yeah, we'll see. Once this is all done though, this board that you see right here can be programmed via QMK configurator, on the command line or on VIA. Whichever way you choose is completely up to you. See, Zark says, Merlin, maybe pull up the new PR checklist to show people. Perfect. There we go. Let's do that. PR checklist. Here you go. This is a non-exhaustive checklist. Let me post that in link. I'm not gonna read this all out to you, but call out some of the few ones here. PR should be submitted using a non-master branch. Yep, a lot of this is typical Git flow. If you guys don't know what Git is a source control. What do you call this? A source control program to make sure you track the history behind all of your commits, all of your code. See, valid license headers, that's good to have. QMK codebase best practices. Core PRs must now target develop branch. Keyboard PRs needs to have an info.json. Valid URL, valid maintainer, displays correctly in configurator. Standard template should be present. Flash command has flash at end. Yep. Pretty cool. Removed MIDI enable, faux clicky enable, and HD 4470 enable. Yeah, there's just a lot here that you guys can go through to make sure things are kosher for the QMK front. There we go. Cool beans. All right. All right, guys. Let's see, we're about an hour and a half in, and I'm already done. I better sell this before everything merges through, because once everything merges through, this will no longer be the first board, the first Southpaw75 with QMK and VIA. Oh boy. Alright guys, you guys, I will now treat you all to Merlin finishing the last of his mead. As I drink the last of my mead and just, I don't know, chat with whoever asks questions. In the meantime, I have promised the audience that I will do a better job at rating fellow streamers, so we are going to see who is online right now. Let's see. Who is online right now? I see Andy, and since I was just talking about Andy, I think I'm gonna raid Andy. Let's go raid Andy, guys. Let us raid Andy. Let's do this. HolySwitch says, should take a Sharpie and draw number 1 on the PCB. Additional $300. Additional $300. Alright guys, once I can get this loaded up, we are going to raid Andy. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. Make sure you tune in to Andy's on Thursday as well to see this board built with whatever Andy wants to build it with. And my next stream is actually also on Thursday. I'll be prepping. So while he's building his Southpaw75, I will be prepping for my Southpaw75. And by prepping, I mean I'm just gonna be like lubing switches, I guess. Who knows? Who knows? But here we go, guys. Please join in the raid for Andy. Here we go. I just pressed the raid button. 8, 7, 6. All right, guys. See you next time. Have a good rest of your Thursday.